Hello again, students. If you recall from last time, we built out this tab, the second tab, the customer acquisition cost tab of this entrepreneurial finance model. And we found through our example that our advertising through Google, through Facebook, and through Instagram exposed us to 170,000 potential new customers at a conversion rate that we established with industry norms, which you will refine when you do your example. We attracted almost 4,000 new customers, and it cost us per customer $3.54 to acquire them based on the amount of money we spent. Okay, so now we're going to take that and we're going to build up to the next part of the model, which is really analyzing the customers in total. And this is a question that investors and potential partners and certainly friends and me and your family and everybody else associated with your business wants to know. How many people are likely to buy your product or service, right? What is your revenue going to look like? There are two ways to approach it. There's a top-down approach, which is listed here, described here, where we look at the total addressable market, the TAM, and we for your industry. So, for example, if you're selling dog treats, there's a lot of ways to figure out what, say, the U.S.-based dog treat industry looks like. What are the annual sales? You can Google search that, but even better, you've got some tools at your disposal through the library. Some software, some databases. IBIS World is one that's frequently used, where they will have literally industry by industry, SIC code by SIC code, the total annual sales for various markets. So let's say, and I have no idea if this is true, that the total annual sales for the dog treat market are $100 million. You'll need to add that number here for your industry. Then you'll have to come up with a percentage of that total addressable market, of that $100 million, that you think you can steal away and make buy your product instead of whatever they're buying now. We'll take a 0.6% number because it needs to be conservative, and we'll then say that yields $600,000 worth of customer sales each year. Seems reasonable. This number here, though, the percentage, that conversion percentage, is up for much debate, highly speculative, and really this top-down approach has fallen out of favor for all but the most, high-velocity tech startups. The more realistic approach is this bottoms-up approach, where we look at a serviceable obtainable market versus the total addressable market. So this is basically saying how many folks have our marketing efforts put us in front of, and we've already done that, right? We did all that over here. That's 170,000 people. So if you look here, remember the blue and the black? So the black means it pulls from a formula, which means it pulls from that other sheet. From a bottoms-up approach, we're going to be in front of 170,000 potential new customers. We're going to convert 2.35%. But then in order to get that revenue number, we need a couple other inputs from you. Number one, in blue, again, how many times will a customer come to your business and purchase throughout the year the product? For this example, we're going to say 6 times. And then how much is the average customer's purchase within your store, within your service, within whatever it is that you're doing? We're going to say $25. The annual sales then, based on how many we're targeting, how many convert, how many repeat purchases customers make, and then the average customer expenditure each year, it's about the same $600,000. You tell me, which one of these numbers do you believe in more? The top down or the bottoms up? It's really no contest. This is based on this spreadsheet over here that you are tracking to and you are updating with your marketing efforts each and every year. So it's about as close as you can get. That's why this other spreadsheet is so important to keep up to date. Okay, so that gets us to we know now that our business is roughly going to project to do $600,000 in sales each year. There's one more thing I want you to calculate. I want you to calculate the lifetime value of a customer, because now we're going to get into a ratio that helps us determine how effectively we're spending our advertising budget. Very important thing in entrepreneurship. It's the ratio of lifetime customer value to customer acquisition cost, that number we calculated before in last episode. LTV to CAC ratio. The lifetime customer value. Essentially, we need one more input. Essentially, that says how much value does a customer bring to your business through the lifetime of their relationship with your business, right? Some businesses, you'll see a customer once and they'll be gone. Other businesses, you'll see a customer every other day when they run out of milk. So it's going to vary based on your business. And we have most of the inputs. The only one we need to add is this one here. The average duration of a relationship, of a customer relationship in months. So for this particular business, a customer spends 1 month in their lifetime with this business and then moves on, doesn't use them again. Maybe this is something like a plumber, right? Although the average customer expenditure wouldn't be enough, but think of a business that you come once, you fix the problem, you don't see them again. We've already got the frequency rate of purchasing. This is calculated based on this repeated purchases per year. We just did a month-to-month calculation. We already have the customer expenditure. You've added that. So our lifetime customer value, a customer has a $12.50 average value to us in this business. Okay? That number in of itself doesn't matter. What matters is this, the LTV to CAC ratio. So the lifetime customer value of $12.50, the customer acquisition cost of $3.54, that ratio is 3.5, which is saying that each customer is worth 3.5 times more than it costs us to bring them in. So each one of those new customers costs us, provides $3.53, or not $3, 3.53 times more value than they do a cost to acquire them. That's an important number. The sweet spot is 3 or 4 to 1. So if your number's in the 3s or in the 4s, you're pretty good. What that's saying is that if it's lower than that, if it's 1 or 2, boy, you're spending an awful lot to acquire customers who aren't providing you that much value, and your margins are probably lacking. So either your product or service isn't compelling enough for customers, or you're spending in the wrong places. On the flip side, if this number down here is, say, 5 something, 6 something more, that means you're probably leaving money or customers on the table. You're leaving money on the table because your advertising is missing a whole lot of potential customers. You should think about increasing your marketing and advertising spend. So it's a really good ratio. Again, that number, we're looking at about 3 or 4 to 1 for an LTV to CAC ratio. Next, we're going to switch into, now that we've set the stage here, sort of with the marketing, advertising, and the total sales, now we're going to get into what those sales cost us and start building your pro forma financials.